Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2464 with a release date of Friday, January 17th, 2025 to follow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. A repeater system stays robust during California's deadly wildfires. The expeditioners pursue a holy grail island in India for chasers, and shortwave ingenuity saves a ham radio program's debut. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2464 comes your way right now.
From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's independent, on-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Union, Kentucky, here's Neil Rapp, WB9 VPG.
Our top story takes us to the U.S. state of California, where deadly wildfires have been consuming much of the Los Angeles area and beyond, destroying homes and causing electrical and cellular outages. Even as SpaceX temporarily activated the test version of its satellite-to-cellular service to help deliver emergency alerts and texts, hams were relying on the region's robust and resilient PAPA system of repeaters, as we hear from Ralph Squillace, KK6 ITB.
As wildfires whipped through the Los Angeles area, the analog repeaters of California's wide-reaching PAPA system had their nets and routine traffic communications canceled for a number of days. The repeaters were placed on standby for news and emergency traffic only, but by Tuesday, January 14th, all but 3 returned to net hosting and normal use. 3 repeaters remained off the main network to continue providing emergency coverage in the greater Los Angeles area. The PAPA system's digital repeaters, which utilize DMR, P25, and D-Star, continued to host normal traffic. Cecil Casillas, WD6FZA, president of the PAPA system, told Newsline that as of Tuesday the 14th, none of the PAPA repeaters had suffered fire-related damages. He said that flames closely threatened repeaters on Mount Wilson and at Saddle Peak, which overlooks Malibu, but the fires stopped short of affecting the buildings, antennas, or other equipment. He said the Saddle Peak repeater had been knocked out of service by an unrelated battery failure, but that the fires blocked access for anyone to bring up a generator. Meanwhile, SpaceX gave temporary access to its Starlink satellites to T-Mobile customers, even without its direct-to-cell constellation being fully completed. According to an article in PC Magazine, only T-Mobile customers with supported phones would have access to texting, but emergency alerts and evacuation notices could be received by any cellular phone. This is Ralph Squillace, KK6 ITB.
This week we have word that a rare, largely inaccessible island off the coast of India is about to be activated for only the second time, and the first time in 23 years. Graham Kemp, VK4BB, has the details.
Writing in the December 2002 issue of the Old 73 magazine, Sri VU2SBJ called Sacrifice Rock a harsh, unwelcoming island off the coast of Kerala in southern India, a plain, solid rock in the middle of nowhere. 11 months earlier, this treacherous bit of terrain was activated for the first time by Sri and his D-Expedition team, who were challenged by its difficult access and changeable weather. No hams have been there since. That is, until now. IOTA number AS161, as it is also known, is about to become a base camp for Team AU2V, 6 amateurs who are among many to consider it a holy grail. The D-Expedition website calls it a dream come true for chasers. Sarah, VU2RS, told Newsline in an email that planning and preparation have been intense in advance of the hoped-for visit in the second week of February, when the 3-month seasonal window for access closes. The team will have 2 CW operators and 4 using SSB and digital modes, and is still working out logistics for its hours of operation. The team also continues critical fundraising via PayPal to cover what is expected to be $10,000 in expenses, covering generators, radios, antennas, and, of course, the boat that will make that challenging trip across the water to the team's destination. And if that's not possible to arrive safely by boat, the team will need to use an airplane, which will add to the costs. See the text version of this week's newscast at arnewsline.org for the team's website and PayPal address. This is Graham Kemp, VK4BB.
The ham radio world has lost a top DXer, a friend, and a supporter of Newsline's Young Ham of the Year award. We hear more about him from Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
We at Amateur Radio Newsline are mourning the passing of Dennis Machenbacher, K7BV. Dennis passed from this world on Thursday, January 9th, after a 14-year battle with cancer. He was 76. Dennis was passionate about amateur radio. He was first licensed at age 13. An avid DXer, he was equally at home on both sides of the pile-up. His amateur radio travels took him to 35 countries. He competed in the World Radio Sport Team Championships in Slovenia in 2000 and won countless awards for his ham radio accomplishments. He served as a radioman for 2 years in the U.S. Navy in Vietnam on the USS Canberra. From 1976 to 2002, Dennis worked in the fire suppression industry. He was editor of the National Contest Journal from 1998 until 2002. After that, he was sales and marketing manager for the ARRL. From 2006 to his retirement in 2019, he was executive vice president of amateur radio sales at Yazoo USA. Dennis was a fixture on stage at the Huntsville Hamfest for the presentation of our Young Ham of the Year Award. Some years ago, Gigaparts did a live online TV presentation at the Huntsville Hamfest, and it was my honor as one of the hosts to spend about 20 minutes chatting with Dennis as my guest. You can find that on the Gigaparts YouTube channel or at the link in the printed edition of this week's newscast. A devoted family man, we send our love to his wife, children, and grandchildren. Rest easy, my friend. I'm Don Wilbanks, AE5DW.
Are you ready for Winter Field Day? If you're in the U.S. or Canada, get your plans in order now. Travis Lisk in 3ILS tells us more.
In North America, Winter Field Day will be held, as always, during the last full weekend of January. But there are some changes this year. This emergency preparedness test of portable equipment under harsh weather conditions has been extended past its previous 24-hour period. Clubs and individual amateurs are being encouraged to register their stations for this event, which has grown since the first Winter Field Day held in 2007. Operators are permitted to use HF, VHF, and UHF bands for CW, single sideband, and digital modes. The operating period is now 30 hours long and will begin at 1600 UTC Saturday, January 25th, and conclude at 2159 UTC the following day. Both indoor and outdoor stations are permitted, as are mobile stations, whether they be moving or stationary. For more details about the rules and to register your station, visit the Winter Field Day website at winterfieldday.org. That's winterfieldday, one word, .org. This is Travis Lisk and 3ILS.
Students in government residential schools in rural parts of the Indian state of Karnataka can now reach out and touch the world with the help of digital mobile radio, or DMR. John Williams, VK4JJW, explains how the radios got there.
20 new DMR radio base stations are opening up the world to students in rural schools run by the state of Karnataka's Social Welfare Department. The installation was done by the Indian Institute of Hams at the request of the state. According to news reports in the Hindu and the Bangalore Mirror, science teachers and a pair of 8th grade students from a number of the schools received online training for their amateur radio licenses and then successfully sat the exam from the Ministry of Communications. The radios are designed to give the students access to scientists, researchers, and others in the amateur radio community who would normally be inaccessible from within their remote rural communities. The radios are available to be operated around the clock. Just as significantly, the radios are available so the schools can serve as emergency communication centers when disaster strikes and the remote regions are likely to be cut off from many services. The initiative is called Ham Yatra and spans the state. The Ham Institute's director, S. Satyapal, told local media. He said he hoped the radios would open a window of curiosity for the students about opportunities in the world of science. This is John Williams, VK4JJW.
Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline, heard on boards and stations around the world, including the N06BS repeater on Thursday evenings in Los Angeles County, California. The National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting in Westchester, Ohio is QRV and is about to reopen. Stephen Kinford in 8WB brings us the details.
6 months of renovations have come to an end at the Voice of America Museum, which is reopening its doors to the public at noon on Saturday, the 25th of January. The work has created new exhibit space with room for more displays that showcase radio history in the U.S. The building formerly housed the Voice of America's Bethany Relay Station. The museum will be open every Saturday and Sunday from noon to 4 p.m. local time, but can also accommodate group tours on any day of the week if arrangements are made in advance. The Westchester Amateur Radio Association, WC8VOA, has its headquarters in the historic building and has had uninterrupted on-the-air activity even as remodeling took place elsewhere in the interior. As visitors return, hams will be on the air and, as always, ready to welcome them. This is Stephen Kinford, N8WB.
In India, the second largest Hindu gathering, the Gangesar Mela, is presenting a variety of opportunities for DX and award scheme participation. That's because hams on DXpedition there are also involved in a public safety mission at this massive religious pilgrimage. Jim Meachins at L2BHF tells us what's happening.
Where the Ganges River and the Bay of Bengal run together, the faithful gather every year. Hams from the West Bengal Radio Club, VU2WB, have been on Saga Island since the 10th of January, operating AU2WBRC. They are there to help keep people safe as they come to worship, and they are helping visitors who get lost in the crowd reunite with their families. The hams have another mission too, making contact with radio operators around the world. Those logging a QSO with any of the operators qualify for a number of award schemes, including Islands on the Air, which identifies Saga Island as AS-153. The location also qualifies Under the Beaches on the Air as number 60572 and World Lighthouses on the Air schemes as Lighthouse 2262. This is Jim Meacham, ZL2BHF.
Mark your calendars for January 23rd. You might just work someone in the Royal Netherlands Army Signal Regiment during a one-day special event with a very specific purpose to get the Marines in the Netherlands more involved in amateur radio. Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, has the details.
Special Event Station PA25MC has a military mission, but one focused on education and friendship. On the 23rd of January, the Royal Netherlands Army Signal Regiment, PI4VBD, will be operating from various locations using military radios, some of them historical. There will also be a variety of operators. Some are experienced members of the Army, others are soldiers in training, some may even be civilian personnel. They will be calling CQ on as many HF bands as possible using SSB. The Signal Regiment itself is a well-established group that appreciates the importance of amateur radio. Last year it marked its 150th anniversary. For QSL information, see the QRZ.com page for PA25MC. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
In the world of DX, be listening for the call sign 5N9DTG being used by members of the Rebel DX group. They will be on the air from Nigeria for up to 3 weeks, starting in the third week of January. See QRZ.com for QSL details. Team IG9/S51V will have several members on the air between the 19th and the 29th of January, operating with the prefix IG9 followed by their home call signs, including S56DX, S51V, S57UN, and several others. They will also be participating in the CQ Worldwide 160-meter CW contest as a multi-single entry using the team call sign IG9/S51V, all from Lampedusa Island, IOTA number AF019, QSL via the operator's home calls. See QRZ.com for additional details. Listen for OF60AP being used by members of the Central Uusimaa Radio Amateurs Association, OH2AP in Finland. The club is marking its 60th anniversary with this year-long special event. See QRZ.com for certificate and QSL details. Dwight, VE7BV, is using the call sign TG9BBV until the 28th of January from Guatemala. He is operating CW, sideband, and some FT8. Look for Dwight on 40 through 6 meters. See his personal QRZ.com page for QSL details. There's a saying in theater that even if you encounter hardship, the show must go on. Well, the theater of radio is no exception to that rule. In our final story this week, we learn how an important amateur radio program weathered the storm, literally, to fulfill a promised shortwave broadcast premiere. Here's Jeremy Boot, G4NJH, with the details.
Listeners had counted on hearing the first shortwave broadcast of the DARC's amateur news program from Wolferton, England, but no one had counted on the severe storm that was bearing down on the west of England. The damage rendered 7 of the station's 35 antennas unusable, leaving the 9670 kHz broadcast imperiled as the hour for the start of the program drew near. The technical team scrambled and, on short notice, improvised. They crash-started another transmitter and a different antenna, so they were able to put the program on the air just as expected, on time and on frequency. In an announcement to listeners on Sunday the 12th of January, Radio DARC's Rainer Engler, DF2NU, thanked the Wolferton team, saying, quote, "This incident shows once again that technicians help each other and do everything humanly possible," end quote. Although reception reports varied unexpectedly because of the different equipment employed, over 1,000 listeners' emails poured in praising the program. Rainer proclaimed the premiere a success. The Wolferton station had saved Radio DARC for its listeners after the closure of its previous shortwave broadcaster in Mossbrunn, Austria, had been obliged to close down. Meanwhile, the station reports that the original antennas have since been repaired and their original configuration restored. The show will indeed go on. This is Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
Have you sent in your amateur radio haiku to Newsline's Haiku Challenge yet? It's as easy as writing a QSL card. Set your thoughts down using traditional haiku format. A 3-line verse with 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, and 5 in the third. Submit your work on our website at arnewsline.org. Each week's winner gets a shout-out on our website where everyone can find the winning haiku. With thanks to the Amateur Radio Daily, Bangalore Mirror, Cecil Casillas, WD6FZA, David Bihar, K7DB, Facebook, 425DX News, The Hindu website, PC Magazine, QRZ.com, Radio DARC, RadioWorld.com, Sarah VU2RS, ShortwaveRadio.de, the National Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting, Winter Field Day Association, Wireless Institute of Australia, YouTube, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer, non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. We also remind our listeners that if you like our newscasts, please leave us a 5-star rating wherever you subscribe to us. For now, with Karen Eve Murray, KD2GUT at the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide, I'm Neil Rapp, WB9VPG in Union, Kentucky, saying 7-3, and as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
This is WA8KT. Net control for this evening's Tuesday night nap. Is anyone listening?
KE8ZZR copies you, Fred, but you're real scratchy, real weak.
Harry, is that you?
Yes, it is, Fred. This is KE8ZZR.
Glad to hear you this evening, Harry. I am on my way home from a special event this evening. I thought I would be home in plenty of time to be able to run the net this evening. I know it's not your responsibility since you answered, though. I'm going to ask you a big favor. Could you please start at 8 p.m. and ask for in and out stations anywhere that would check in to the Silvercreek Tuesday night net for me, and by the time you get done taking the in and out stations, I should be able to be down at the radio and take over. Probably, I'm going to say 15 minutes away.
Sure, Fred, I'll be able to take care of that for you. I'll be on here. So, yeah, take your time, and I'll start a list for you. This is KE8ZZR clear with WA8KOC.
KE8ZZR, Harry, you're awesome. Absolutely awesome. Careful, we'll make you a net control operator. You taking care of yourself. I'm going to be, like I say, about 8:05 p.m., but I will be there to pick up the remainder of the net, and I sincerely appreciate your coverage and your assistance. You're awesome, buddy. Have a good start to the net, and like I said, just if you can ask for in and out check-ins anywhere. KE8ZZR WA8KOC with sincere accolades to you.
73, this is KE8ZZR clear.
the weekly Serenet, featuring club news, trivia, and check-ins from some of the nicest hams in the universe starts in 5 minutes. Get ready for the weekly Serenet starting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
QCQCQ. This is KE8ZZR filling in for Fred for a few minutes for the weekly Circa Club Net. I'll take check-in and out check-ins right now. So please come with your call sign phonetically and your name. This is KE8ZZR.
Good evening. This is Dave. November 8, Papa, Greenport, Ohio. In and out.
November 8th, Whiskey Sugar, Bill in New London. In and out, but listening.
Whiskey 8 Tango Delta, John, somewhere at sea, in and out.
Whiskey 8, Charlie Tango Mike, Carry at Portage Lakes, in and out.
Kilo Echo 8, India Mike Echo, David Sterling, in and out.
Kilo Alpha 8, Mike November Tango, Tom and Canton, in and out.
Kilo Delta 8, Echo Papa Charlie KD8 EPC, Dustin and Medina, in and out.
Okay, this is Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Romeo. Dave, your first check-in, I picked up your name, obviously, but I didn't copy your call sign. Can you come back with it again, please?
Sure. It's November 8th, Papa.
I copied November 8th, Papa. You're real scratchy.
Right.
Copy. Okay. So far I have Dave, Bill, John, W8CTM, KEM, I don't remember his call sign, KNNMT, and KDEDC, Dustin. Any other in and out check-ins?
Kilo Echo 8, Tango Lima Bravo, KE8 TLB. Brandy and Ribbon, I'll be in and out. 73, everyone.
Okay, I've added Randy, KE8DOB. Any other in and out check-ins?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association GC9 Net. This is WA8KOC. I am operating Echolink, so please forgive me if it's a little scratchy or difficult to understand, and making my way home here just as quick as I can. We've got quite a few in and out stations. I'd like to thank all those stations checking in and out, and sincerely appreciate you folks going easy on Harry, because he offered to go ahead and substitute for me here for the first part of the net. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and ask everybody that wants to be a regular check-in for the Tuesday night net to please give me your call signs phonetically, alphabetically, and your name and location, and please leave a little bit of a pause between times so we can make sure that nobody gets cut off. Any other stations, regular check-ins for the net, please give me a call.
This is Kilo Alpha 8 Lima Yankee Juliet, KA8 LYJ, Bob in Barberton.
Please copy Kilo Echo 8 Uniform India Bravo, KE8 UIB, John in Massillon.
Kilo Echo 8 Victor Oscar X-Ray, KE8 VOX, Scott in Vermilion Township.
This is Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray, WO3X, John in Cuyahoga Falls.
Kilo Charlie 8 Hotel Delta Papa, KC8 HDP Jerry and Shreve.
Whiskey 2 Juliet Lima Sierra, W2JLS John in Fairlawn on the Victor Lima Charlie.
Kilo Delta 8 Tango November Foxtrot, KD8 TNF. My name is Chris in Westfield Township, Medina County.
Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Foxtrot. I'm Gary here in Worcester, Ohio.
Kilo Echo 8 Zulu Romeo, KE8 ZZR, Harry over in Wadsworth.
If I can butt in and pick it up right there, I did copy Chris, KD8 TNF, and there was a station that came in between Chris and KD8 ZZR Harry. I did not copy the call sign. If that station would be kind enough to re-ID for me, I'd sincerely appreciate it.
Whiskey 8 Golf Mike Foxtrot. Gary, I'm here in Worcester, Ohio.
WHGMF. Gary, I got you. Before we go any further, I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, so I'm going to go through the list here, give you guys who I got, make sure there weren't any doubles, collisions, and sincerely appreciate everybody working with me here this evening as I try and juggle a real circus here. KA8 LYJ, KE8 UIB, KE8 VOX, WO3X, KC8 HDP, W2 JLS, KD8 TNF, W8 GMF, and KE8 CCR. Did I miss anybody on that round?
Kilo 4 Oscar Golf K4OG marking Copley.
K4OG, WA8POC, Mark, I got you. Being here, buddy. Appreciate it. Anyone else for this round? All right. Not hearing anyone else coming across. Glad to have all you folks with us this evening. It's going to be a great net. I know it will. And I know Eric, W8ELM, will be here with some excellent trivia as a question. With that, I'm going to go ahead before we start the trivia and see if there's anybody else that needed just a moment to gather composure and check in with us. I've got 8:11 on my clock here. Any other stations that would like to check in on the Tuesday weekly net, the regular check-ins, please give me a call. WA8KOC operating as W8WKY this evening.
WB4AIZ.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee November Juliet, John in Norton.
John, I did copy your call or your name, but I didn't get your call sign. If you could come back to me phonetically, please, I'd appreciate it. Sorry about that.
Kilo Echo 8, Yankee November Juliet.
I did copy KE8YUJ. Is that?
Roger, Roger. KE8YNJ.
WB4AIZ. Echolink.
WB4AIZ. Chuck, I caught you, man. I got you in on the list. Chuck, I caught you. WB4AIZ. I'll be right back to you. Just getting in the house here so I can get to the station. Good to hear everybody here with us this evening. And hopefully everybody's going to have a good time here with us on the net this evening. With that, give me just a few seconds, and I'll be right back with you. W8WKY. Alrighty then, W8WKY, operating here for the Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association Tuesday evening net. It's great to hear everybody. I'm going to run through the call signs of what I've got. Hopefully I have not missed anyone. And after I get done, I'll call for any additions. Otherwise, we're going to get right down to it. KA8LYJ, KE8UIB, KE8VOX, WO3X, KC8HCP, W2JLS, KD8TNF, W8GMF, KE8ZZR, K4OG, WB4AIZ, and KE8YUJ. Have I missed anyone?
W8WKY.
Net control, please check in. Whiskey 4, Mike, Juliet, Mike, W4, MJM. The name here is Mark, Mike Alpha Romeo Kilo, in Columbia, South Carolina.
W4MJM, Mark, we got you in on the list also. Thanks for being here with us tonight. Appreciate that, all the way from South Carolina.
Down the farm.
Anyone else I can add to the list?
You talked over KD8SLG and C. Good. I'll be in and out this evening. Thank you.
QV.
I will add KD8SLG Just Nick, AA8CS Gary, our fearless leader, president of Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association. Got you marked in and out, Gary, and I copied KC8FQV Mark. Did I miss anyone else?
Kilo Foxtrot 8, Charlie Hotel Bravo, Craig and Shreve.
KF8 CHB, Craig, I got you in on the list. Thank you. Thank you. I'll be right back to you. Anyone else?
Kilo Echo 8, Victor Zulu Alpha, Eric in Strongsville, KE8 VZA.
KE8 VZA. Whiskey Kilo Yankee. Eric, I got you in on the list also. Anyone else? All right, not hearing anyone. Got a wonderful list of check-ins here this evening. Appreciate everybody's checking in with us for the Tuesday Weekly Net. Before I get to call on each one of you, I'm going to ask Eric, W8ELM, to come in and give us the trivia question for this evening. And that way, when I talk to you folks, I can also ask you what your answer to the trivia question is. So with that, W8ELM, W8WKY. Eric, good evening. Are you with us?
W8WQY, WKY. This is W8ELM. Too many Q's down here, I guess. Good evening, Fred, and everybody on the net. Fred, an excellent job of copying down all those call signs while you are still not at the home station. So anyway, I am here, and if you want a trivia question, I've got one for you.
Eric, it's great to hear you with us this evening, as always. And I would request, yes, could you please give us one of your excellent trivia questions? This should be a lot of fun. And before you go, I'm going to thank everybody for being patient with me, for getting in here rather late, and also want to compliment Harry, KE8ZZR, for giving me a substitution here for the in-and-out check-ins. Sincerely appreciate that, Harry. Eric, take it away. Good evening.
All right, very good. Well, instead of a multiple choice question, tonight's question will use the matching format. Some of you are probably familiar with that from your school days. I will give you a list of 4 characters from the children's television show Sesame Street. Your challenge is to match each character with their most likely psychological disorder. Again, instead of a multiple choice question, tonight's question will use the matching format. I will give you a list of 4 characters from the children's television show Sesame Street. Your challenge is to match each character with their most likely psychological disorder. You can write down the characters 1 through 4. Go ahead and number them in that order. Number 1, Bert, B-E-R-T. Number 2, Big Bird. Number 3, Ernie, E-R-N-I-E. Number 4, Grover. Again, number 1, Bert. Number 2, Big Bird. Number 3, Ernie. Now you need to make a list of the disorders, A, B, C, and D. A alpha, delusional syndrome. Delusional syndrome. B, Bravo, obsessive compulsive disorder. That would be OCD. C, Charlie, schizophrenia. And you can spell it any way you like, it doesn't make any difference. C, Charlie, schizophrenia. And D, Delta, attention deficit disorder. Attention deficit disorder. I'll go through those one more time, A, B, C, and D. A, delusional syndrome. B, obsessive compulsive disorder. C, schizophrenia. D, attention deficit disorder. So when you answer your question, you are going to give me the letters that correspond to 1, 2, 3, and 4, Bert, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover, in that order. Fred, do you think that's clear enough?
At this very moment in my life, Eric, W-A-W-K-Y, by the way, at this very moment in my life, I wish I would have sat there watching these cats with my kids when they were younger, and I might have some kind of a clue, but you did really well. Bert, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover, and the problems, delusional syndrome, obsessive compulsive disorder, schizophrenia, and attention deficit disorder. I think that just about levels it out. With that, I'm going to thank you for such a wonderful, wonderful question this evening. And we're going to get right back down to it. I'll go ahead and copy KA8LYJ. Rick, good morning, or good evening. Good morning. I wish it was morning. KA8LYJ, WAWKY. What have you got for an answer, pal, and how are you this evening? Take it away.
W8WKY.
Yeah, what that guy just said. This is KA8LYJ. Wow, Eric, you have outdone yourself. And you didn't make it real easy, because everybody knows that the most OCD member of that cast is Count Von Count, and you didn't give us him. So, I'm going to take a stab at it just based on what I remember from the characters growing up and then raising my own kids. For OCD, that would be that one's still kind of easy. That'd be Bert in his moth collection. ADD is Ernie. He's kind of all over the place. So we got the easy ones out of the way. Big Bird saw Snuffleupagus and nobody else did for years. So we'll say he's delusional. And by process of elimination, I guess we stick Grover with schizophrenia. And I know I'm probably wrong as heck, but that's what I've got, and that's, so I'm sticking with it. And with that, KA8LYJ will turn it back over to Net Control.
Bob, I have to have 1, 2, 3, 4 matched up only with A, B, C, and D. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you might say B, A, D, C, or you might say B, A, D, C, or whatever, but do not repeat the syndromes or the disorders. Just give me 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the letter that corresponds to 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thank you. That'll just make it a whole lot easier for me.
Sorry about that, Eric. I copied down the disorders and the letters, but I didn't get the numbers with the characters. So hopefully this will work. A is, for A, I've got Big Bird. For B, I've got Bert. For C, I've got Grover. And for D, I got Ernie.
Can't copy them that fast. Write down 1, 2, 3, 4. Bert, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover. And give me nothing but an order of 4 letters that go along with Bert, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover. The syndromes are A, delusional syndrome, B, obsessive compulsive disorder, C, schizophrenia, and D, attention deficit disorder. Sorry about that. That's the only way I can handle this.
It's all right, Eric. I got you. So for 1, Bravo. For 2, Alpha. For 3, Delta. For 4, Charlie.
Thank you, Bob, and thanks for being the guinea pig. Hopefully everybody else will be able to copy that for you. I'm sorry to kind of monopolize this, Fred, and I'm going to turn it back to Ned. W8WKY from W8ELM.
W8ELM, W8WKY. Don't apologize. Eric, this is fabulous. It's not quite as easy as the multiple choice answers, but I know that there's a lot of people probably 10, 15 years younger than me that are going to pick up on this stuff, and they're going to come across with the goods. And I think Bob did pretty good to start off with. So, Bob, KA8LYJ, thank you for that. And did you have anything else for the net this evening?
No, just stay on the warm side of the door and add an extra cat or dog tonight.
Affirmative. Anybody can shove the towels down at the threshold and kind of make sure that you've got that door buttoned up tough. It's going to be a cold one tonight. Everybody take care and stay warm. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Johnny. KE8UIB. John, good evening. Thanks for being here with us on the Tuesday Night Net. You're probably of that age group that will know exactly what's going on here with Bert, Big Bird, Ernie, and Grover. Over to you. W8WKY for the net.
W8WKY from KE8UIB. Good evening, Fred, everybody out there on the net. And, oh, man,
You know, I am in the age range where I should actually know this, but this is probably why I'm so bonkers is because of this show. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown on my answer real quick. D, B, A, C. So Delta, Bravo, Alpha, Charlie. And unfortunately tonight, you guys, my mom and dad are both down sick, so they are not listening in. And so I wish them well and hope they feel better here soon. So with that, though, that is my answers for the trivia question. We'll see how that goes, and I hope everybody's staying warm tonight. As my weather station is showing, it is a negative 3.3 degrees outside my door, so I'm happy I'm on the warm side of the door. With that, you guys, this is KE8UIB, living the $5 dream, a nickel at a time. I'm going to hand this back over to Net Control, and great job with the net, Fred. 7-3, y'all.
KD8TNF, can you please mark me out? 7-3.
Chris, I will mark you out, but thanks for being here with us. I know this is going to kind of extend the time on the net, but Chris, thanks for being here. We've got you marked in on the log. You take good care of yourself, and be safe tonight. Stay warm. John, KE8UIB, I think that was fabulous. Fabulous job. And sincerely appreciate you being in here with us this evening. Thanks for being here, buddy. And who knows, maybe you've got the right answer. We're going to wait and see. Eric gave us a good one this evening. KE8VOX, Scotty, you're up. Good evening. Hopefully you had a good lunch this afternoon. And I don't know if you're of that age group that's going to catch the drift on this, but we're going to go ahead and see. KE8VOX, W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KE8VOX, and had a great lunch. Cold, it was cold getting there, but I had a great lunch here, Fred. But nah, I'm not from the age group. I never watched a day of Sesame Street. The only character I know is Big Bird, and that's just because that's what we used to call my buddy's future wife when they were in school together. But here's my answers anyway. 1, Charlie. 2, Alpha. 3, Bravo. And 4, Delta. And all 4 guesses. But thanks for doing the net. Thanks for getting me in, Fred. And this is KE8VOX, sending it back to Net Control.
Scott, we're going to make sure that we say thank you for checking in on the net with us this evening. This is a little bit different, isn't it? And Eric, great job, as I said. Scott, you take good care of yourself. I will look forward to talking to you in the morning, and hopefully you have a good evening on your end, and we'll see what this answer comes up with. It's going to be pretty good. 7-3. WO3X, John, good evening. It's great to have you in here with us. How do you like this trivia question, and what's new with you? Give us a lowdown. W8WKY.
Yeah, good evening. This is WO3X, Whiskey Oscar 3 X-Ray. Well, on Saturday I operated only for 1 hour the Ohio VHF Simplex contest, but I made 7 contacts, and what's funny, the last 3 were in the last minute, so that was funny there. And one of them was a guy that just lives up the road a little bit from me, and he was mobile and happened to have his radio on scanning there, so he was my last contact. So 105 points there. Okay, regarding Sesame Street, let's see. I think I used to see my son watching that like 40 years ago. But let's see what I have here for my guesses. Okay, I'm gonna go B, C, D, A. So that's Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Alpha. So with that, this is WO3X. Back to the net.
John, sincerely appreciate your presence in here with us this evening. Good to hear you, man. And the last three coming in right at the end of the thing, that's good. That's good. Better that than not getting them at all. We're going to wait around and see what goes on with Eric's answers, but do appreciate being here with us, buddy. You take good care of yourself. Have yourself a good evening. Be safe and stay warm. 7-3. KC8 HTP, Jerry. Jerry, what do you say about this? This is pretty cool, isn't it? KC8 HTP, W8 WKY, it's all yours, bud.
Well, good evening, Fred, and everyone on the net. And yeah, amazing job taking those check-ins on Echolink Mobile. That's quite a feat. One I wouldn't want to do myself. But anyway, great to hear everyone. Boy, Eric, this trivia question, I've already changed my answers 3 times, and I didn't have time to change it a 4th, so I'm just going to go with my 3rd revision here. And it's kind of hard because I have varying degrees of all 4 of these things, so see, I'm going to go with Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Charlie. And boy, that was tough. Boy, have to think back and do a psychoanalysis. Man, that's something I'm not qualified to do. Anyway, great to hear everyone. We operated at Wayne Amateur Radio Club for Simplex Day. Wasn't very many people on. We made 15 contacts, and that's over most of them were on 2 meters. There was 10 there, 2 on 6 meters, and 3 on 70 centimeters. And heard like Columbiana County calling CQ a lot, but didn't hear anybody talking to them, and didn't sound like they were talking to anybody either. So not very well participated in. But anyway, everybody stay on the warm side of the door. Extreme cold warning until 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. So everybody be careful with the cold. So that send things back to you, Fred. Thanks for doing the net. W8 WKY and the net from KC8 HDP 7-3.
KC8 HDP W8 WKY. Jerry, thanks for being here with us. It's good to hear you, buddy. And I agree with you. Everybody stay on the warm side of the door. Be careful this evening because it's going to get mighty darn cold. And with the wind chills, who knows how low it's actually going to be. But Jerry, thanks for being here, and hopefully you've got the right answer. This is a complete loss to me. Take care of yourself, pal. W2JLS, my buddy John up there in Fairlawn. John, good evening. How are you? Were you a Sesame Street fan? And besides that, what do you got for the net for us this evening? It's good to have you with us.
Whiskey 8 Whiskey Kilo Yankee via Mr. Fred. Good evening on your ears, sir, and to everyone out there on the net. I'll couple of quick things. Thanks to your buddy, I think Henry, you said, for helping out earlier. You did a good job. I didn't pick up his call in a quality way, but it was nice of him to take it for you. And that was maybe one of the most illustrious entrances you've made in the air. So that was kind of fun, too. Trying to check us in while mobile from Echolink. I thought that was quite a coup. So wild ride tonight. And then Eric's question, holy crap, I love it. I grew up on Sesame Street, and I've been struggling over here in Fairlawn, and I know all of these characters very well. I'll just go on the record right now as saying a simple answer for Jim Henson might be like schizotypal personality, or maybe like a multiple personality disorder himself, which might explain all of these great creatures, these creations of his. But let me get down to my last version of my list on Eric's great question. I would say at least a couple of these guys fit neatly into ADHD from my perspective of having raised a young fella kind of pegged with ADHD by modern definitions. But I did finally zero in on this a little better. But to simplify this for our buddy Eric, I'll say in order 1, 2, 3, and 4. I had Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Charlie. Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Charlie. Those are my answers. I think that puts things in perspective for Eric. But great question, very creative. Also, a mention. This is the lowest. I'm sorry. Let me get this straight. The highest barometric pressure I've actually measured down here in the radio room on the Word and Works hanging on the wall. I looked over and it's very well placed into the colder, cooler zone, and coming in at a 30 mark, 4.8. So anyway, I'm sending it back. Thanks for having me tonight, Fred. Good to hear everybody in the air. W2JLS.
Mr. Souther, I'm glad to have you in here with us this evening. And, there's probably going to be some records set here. I don't know. I think that maybe back in 2013, 2014, I remember we had a cold snap. I was in our beautiful homestead there, and I think we had like 2.5 weeks of like 20 to 30 below, and it was miserable. But I think what we're going to get here tonight and tomorrow is going to be quite a bit hard to take compared to the last few years. You did good. I think you did really great, John. And whatever you do, you stay safe, stay warm, and I will look forward to talking to you in the near future, okay? 7-3. KD8TNF, Chris was in and out. Chris, if you're still listening, thanks. Appreciate it. And we'll look forward to talking to you again soon. W8GMF, Gary, good morning. Or good evening. Good morning. Good evening. It is evening. And what do you got for this answer to this trivia question? What else have you got for us? It's good to hear you this evening. WAWKY on this end.
Microphone. Sorry about that, Fred. W8GMF on this end. Well, I don't remember too much about Sesame Street. My Jim Henson characters would have been more likely to have been Kermit and Miss Piggy. And I don't even know if I could establish a personality disorder with either one of them. But Miss Piggy might have been a little bit interested in the more sensual side of life. I don't know. But I guess I will take a guess there, and I got two columns here, and I'll go with the column on the left. I got from 1 to 4, I've got D, C, B is A. Got that. The other thing I've got is I've also got a frozen rotor again tonight. It caught out today when the sun was out, but it don't move again tonight. It's a Yaesu G450, and the body is black, so a little bit of sun, and it'll warm right up. But boy, once the sun goes down, she don't move. But at least I pointed it in a better direction this afternoon. So if I do want to do something tonight, it might be pointed a little more activity. Back to the net. Thanks for running it there, Fred.
Gary, I think you said DCBA, Delta Charlie Bravo Alpha. Am I correct on that? I want to make sure Eric's got it down right. You might be the winner.
Yeah, that's what I said. Dog Charlie Bravo Alpha. Am I a little noisy tonight? Maybe I got ice on the antenna.
at all. Coming in loud and clear, just fine. No backlash, nothing in the background. Just full quieting. Good job, Gary. Take good care of yourself. Maybe you'll be tonight's winner. Who knows? I don't think you're going to win any $20 or $30 million for it, but hey, kudos are kudos, right? Take care, pal. KE8ZZR, Harry, my pal. I sincerely appreciate you taking the slack up for me and getting the in and out check-ins in here this evening. And I hope you're having a good evening on your end, staying warm, staying safe. You've got some answers to our trivia question, right? And whatever else you got for the net. Take it away, buddy. W8WKY.
W8WKY, this is KE8ZZR. Hey, I'm glad to help you out there, Fred. Kind of caught me off guard there, but I muddled my way through it. So heard you in a little distress there, so I figured I'd help you out. Eric, you're really outdoing yourself here again. You're making everybody think a little bit. So let me get the trivia out of the way here. So I'm going to go with a B as in Bravo, A as in Alpha, C as in Charlie, D as in Dog. Those are my four answers. And all that's about it. It's a big whopping -6 degrees here at the weather station. So I think I'll stay on the warm side of the door. And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Fred. This is KE8ZZR.
Harry, I did not mean to put you on the spot, but I sincerely appreciate your assistance, pal. I really do. And you did a fine job. Fabulous, I might say. And, I won't do that to you again, but hearing you come in and knowing that you may have been one of the only ones to have heard me prior to the net start, I sincerely appreciate it. Good answers on the trivia question. We're going to see what goes on, and who knows, they're Sesame Street characters. We'll let Eric figure all that out, and Eric, hopefully you're copying all these down correctly and without any hassles. Take care, Harry. K4OG, Mark, good evening. How the heck are you? It's great to hear you. What's your answer to the trivia question? Have you got anything new for us this evening? How was the day over in Copley?
W8WKY and W8KOC. Good evening, Fred and Eric and everybody. Well, I checked my email this evening, Fred, just the regular old stuff. Fred, I have run the ClubNet as a guest one time. I haven't been called back. Maybe I did such a bad job. But I got the preamble tucked away there, so if you ever need to get bailed out, just send me an email, give me a call. But I was scrambling, rearranging my ham shack this evening. I got a new monitor, I got a new mini PC, because I realized trying to use an old discarded PC as my main computer and trying to run it RSBA software, that it just didn't work, Fred. So I took advantage of the Christmas deals and anyway, rearranged the whole shack tonight. I got to get it clean and orderly for when the wife comes up, so it'll be a good reflection. She won't think I'll junk up the house when I retire and get down there. Anyway, I better move on and get this thing going. It looks good, Fred. I like it. The answer to the trivia questions. I never knew Sesame Street characters had disorders, but now that I've given it thought, Eric, 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. That's the answers, K4OG.
Mark, hey, you're sounding good this evening, and I'm sure the shack over there in Copley is looking mighty fine. And if it isn't just perfect for your liking, I'm sure you're going to make it that way. Careful, I might hit you guys up for some help when I'm in a pinch like I was this evening. I thought Harry did a great job, and I'm sure you would also, Mark. You're a great operator. And good luck on this trivia question, because I have not got a freaking clue as to what the heck's going on. I know the characters, but don't know their issues. We'll look forward to talking to you soon, Mark. 7-3. Stay tuned for the answer. WB4AIZ Chuck. Good evening. How are things down in Florida? It's all yours, pal. W8WKY for the net.
WB4AIZ. I keep telling people I'm moving to Florida where it's warm and balmy. It's, let me put it this way. I got 3 layers of clothing on and 3 layers of on the bed. Supposed to get down to low 40s, and we're not looking forward to it. But well, I've seen snow twice since I've been here, since '74. So I don't know. No, I'm not going to touch the trivia. I know the characters, sort of, the names, anyways. Anyways, everybody have a good night, and I hope you're not too shocked that I wasn't in and out. All right, back to that control, WB4AIZ.
WB4AIZ from W8WKY. Chuck, we're glad you're in here with us, buddy. And low 40s, kind of hard to tolerate, huh? Boy, what some of us up here are wishing for that right now. We'll look forward to talking to you in the near future. Whatever you do, keep yourself warm down there, pal, and bundle up. And thanks for joining in with us this evening. Sincerely appreciate it. 7-3 to you. KE8YUJ, W8WKY, good evening.
W8WKY, this is KE8YNJ. Good evening, Fred, and everybody else on the net. So we're going to go in the 1, 2, 3, 4 order. 1 is Alpha, 2 is Delta, 3 is Charlie, 4 is Bravo, and I have limited to almost no recall of the Sesame Street characters either, and I just thought they were all goofy, but I know my daughter watched a lot of that, and so, you know, from whatever limited recall, that's my guess tonight. So otherwise, here in Norton, we're staying warm, burning a little less wood, because when it's this cold out, I don't have a cold air supply for my wood burner. So if you have a roaring fire, it tends to suck in a roaring amount of super cold air. So you got to keep the fire a little lower when it's this cold out. Otherwise, the exterior rooms that are farther away get kind of cold. But anyways, that's my problem. Otherwise, everybody have a good evening, and we'll see how the trivia results go. And we'll say 7-3, Kilo Echo 8, Yankee November Juliet, John in Norton.
W8WKY.
KE8YNJ, John, my sincerest apologies for mucking up your call sign. I don't know how that happened, probably because I was stressed and trying to make way from the vehicle and Echolink into the shack and RF. But good to have you with us here this evening. Thanks for joining in. Quite a heck of a question for trivia, right? Do appreciate your presence and your joining in with us, trying to get this straightened out here this evening. Take good care of yourself, stay warm, and we'll look forward to talking to you soon. 7-3. W4MJM. Mark, good evening. It's all yours, buddy. I imagine there are some folks out there that are much more well-versed than some of us others as far as the issues with Jim Henson's little tribe here. We'll see what you got going on. Thanks for being here. Over to you. WAWKY. I didn't think Mark was in and out. W4MJM, WAWKY. Mark, you still with us? Not hearing anything from Mark. Maybe he'll chime in here as we get down here on the list further. Appreciate everybody being in here this evening and enjoying this nice cold evening as you center in front of your radios or whatever. KD8SLG, just Nick. Good evening. Thank you for being here. How's your foot feeling? And give us an update on that, will you? And by the way, what's your answer to this trivia question? It's pretty cool, isn't it?
WWKY, this is KD8SLG. Good evening, Fred, and all the club netizens. Yeah, this is a cool question. I'm going to go with a Bravo, Alpha, Charlie, Delta. That's Bravo, Alpha, Charlie, Delta. Those are my answers to tonight trivia. Thanks, Eric. Fine business. And did see the surgeon this afternoon, or at least his minions. Anyway, sutures are out, incisions look good. I'm in an air cast, so I have a little more access to my foot. And I start seeing the physical terrorists on Friday. Looking forward to that. Talk to you in the morning, Fred, I think. It's KD8SLG, back to net control.
KD8SLG, W8WKY. All right. Good job, Nick. Glad to know things are mending well with the foot. And thanks for coming in and giving us your answer to Eric's trivia question. It's a heck of a good one, I got to say that. And I don't know many clubs that would be able to venture out and congratulate their trivia team on anything quite like this. Eric's quite the guy. He's got it all going on. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. Take good care of yourself. Let me know if you need anything, okay? We'll say 7-3 to you. AA8CS, Alpha Alpha 8, Custom Select, Charlie Sierra, whatever you want to say. Gary, our fearless leader, Silvercreek Amateur Radio Association's president, I believe he said he was in and out. Pretty sure he did. I'm going to take just a quick pause and see if he's out there and maybe he wants to come back in. We'll see. Well, it seems like AA8CS was in and out. Gary, if you're listening out there somewhere, have yourself a good evening. Stay warm. Stay safe. We'll talk to you soon. Take good care of Joyce's hips. KC at FQV. Mark, good evening. Quite a trivia question, don't you think? What's new with you? And it's all yours. W8WKY for the net.
All right, Fred, KSFQ. Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty wild one. Well, not wild, but just, yeah. But it's going to be 1 Bravo, 2 Alpha, 3 Delta, 4 Charlie. You know, that we do these trivia questions every week. You know, we should put the question, you know, even, you know, after, I mean, we could put them on before, but definitely I would think we should think about putting them on our website after with the answer so that, you can see what the question was, and if you weren't able to stay around, you'd be able to see them, and other people might look at the website and say, wow, there were some good questions. Geez, where do I tune in to listen to them? But yeah, I'm going to say 1 Bravo, 2 Alpha, 3 Delta, and 4 Charlie. And yes, it's cold up here. And yeah, the chickens, they don't venture out very much. They go out, get a little food, get some water, and they go right back to the little home. So, yeah, I think when I looked, it was like 3 below here. So I sent it back the net control, Fred, KC8FQV.
KC8FQV, W8WKY. Mark, thanks for joining in with us this evening. Thank you for your answer to the trivia. Hopefully you'll have a good evening. Keep the chickens warm, and we'll look forward to talking to you in the near future. Hopefully you've got the right answer, 7-3. KF8CHB, Craig, good evening. Good to hear you again after this morning. Hooking up with you. Hopefully you're having a good evening. What's your answer to the trivia question, and how are things on your end? W8WKY.
W8WKY, Fred, Brother Fred, good to hear you again, twice in one day. I tell you, that's just outstanding. Temperatures here in Shreve are I've got about 3 below, almost 4, and going down. What can I say? It's chilly out there. Stay on the warm side of the door. Well, you know, sticking with Jerry and a few others, I think my answers are going to be Bravo, Alpha, Delta, Charlie. Probably wrong. I think I've got 1 or 2 I'm pretty sure about. The other ones, it's a guess, and so going with the masses. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for getting both ends of the day. I tell you, that's outstanding. And with that, back to you and 73s, and probably, if everything goes well, I'll see you on the barometer net in the morning.
KF8CHB, W8WKY. All right. Good to hear you this evening, Craig. And, yeah, thanks for that reminder that it's going to get mighty darn cold. Everybody stay warm, bundle up. If you got a heater core in your car like I do, make sure you plug it in. It's going to be a cold one tonight. And, Craig, we'll look forward to talking to you in the morning if you got time. Always good to hear from you, buddy. 7-3. KE8VZA, Eric. Eric's going to get this one nailed, aren't you, Eric? Good evening. Thanks for being here with us. We'll throw it over to you. KE8VZA, W8WKY. The answer to the trivia question, I'm sure, will come forthright from you.
W8WKY in the group. Well, thanks for the vote of confidence there, Fred. I'm not too sure, but we'll give it our best shot. I used pencil, thankfully, because I've erased a few and moved them around. But here we go. So in order from, we've got 1 is Bravo, 2 Charlie, 3 Alpha, and 4 Delta. B, C, A, D. Thanks to Harry for getting your in and out check-ins there, and thank you for running the net, Fred. And let's see, what else? Thanks to Eric for a great trivia question. It was NCO for the NORS 10-meter net tonight. It was interesting. It always is. We had 7 check-ins. It was pretty good. Got -2 degrees here in Strongsville, and probably dropping as we speak. But hey, it's great antenna building weather for sure. Too bad it's dark out. Well, that might make it interesting too. But it's also interesting to ponder some of the other Sesame Street characters and what their disorders might be. You know, like Oscar and Cookie Monster, and somebody already mentioned the Count. But anyway, that's all I have for tonight. Thanks again, Fred. KE8VZA, back to net control.
are good. Eric, thanks for checking in with us this evening. Good job on 10-meter net, 7 check-ins. That's good. Absolutely great. And hopefully the rest of the evening will go well for you. Whatever you do, stay safe, stay warm, stay healthy. I'll look forward to talking to you in the near future. And stay tuned. We'll see what the correct answers should have been. Take care, Eric. With that, that is the last portion of my list so far. Are there any other stations out there that would like to check in on this Tuesday Silvercreek net before I turn it over to Eric to get the questions answered? Anyone else for the net, please give me a call, W8WKY.
8HNK, I'll be in and out tonight. No trivia questions.
Whiskey 8 Tango Mike Choo-Choos. I'm just in and out, guys. 73 and be warm tonight.
All right, I did add to the list KE8HNK and WW8TM. We really appreciate your presence here, Elmer and Choo-Choo, and you guys also. Take good care of yourselves. Be safe. Stay warm. Hopefully tomorrow won't be so miserable tomorrow night. 7-3 to you guys. Anyone else for the net before I hand it off to Eric? Hearing nothing. We're going to get the real answer, the real scoop on what's going on with Jim Henson's characters here. Eric, I have to say, fabulous question. Great kind of a synopsis of what goes on here. 1 through 4, A through D. Why don't you let us know what the correct answer would have been? And thank you so much for being here with us, always giving us some great trivia. And this one, I have to say, I think maybe you've outdone yourself. W8ELM, W8WKY.
W8WKY from W8ELM. Well, first of all, I would like to thank KA8LYJ Bob for helping everybody else get this straightened out. I do appreciate that. John, KE8UIB, I want to say that I hope your mom and dad are back healthy again next week, and they're not letting this weather get them down. So that's my best to them. Congratulations to John, W03X, for the 7 contacts that he made. Our whole club only made about twice that number. And Mark, good suggestion on maybe putting the answers to the trivia questions on the website. So that's the only notes I have here. So now to the answers. I hope everyone understands that I had to kind of figure some of this out myself from the research that I did. So there's nothing carved in stone on this particular question. However, I think we're pretty close. The correct answer was Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Alpha, and John, W03X, was the only one that had them in that particular order. There were a number of you that just switched a couple around. And I do want to thank everybody for participating on this question. I won't do this very often, but I just wanted to try something a little bit different tonight. So, again, the correct answers: Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Alpha. Bert has what you might call obsessive-compulsive disorder, because he has things like obsessions with collecting paper clips and pigeons, pictures, or something of that nature So that could be considered obsessive-compulsive disorder. Big Bird had an imaginary friend, the Heffalump, or whatever he was, Snuffleupagus, if anybody remembers that. So we could say he's probably a bit schizophrenic. And Ernie had kind of a short... Oh, squirrel! Sorry. Ernie had kind of a short attention span, so attention deficit disorder might hit him very well. That would be D. And Grover thought he had a lot of special talents and abilities. Sometimes he thought he was Super Grover, the superhero. So he would match up with A, delusional syndrome. Someone mentioned the other characters, and I just came up with a few of them, maybe what I thought. Cookie Monster obviously had a binge-eating disorder. Count Von Count, somebody already mentioned, obsessive-compulsive disorder because of his need to count everything. Oscar the Grouch could be a couple different things, possibly oppositional defiant disorder or a compulsive hoarder. Elmo was narcissistic personality disorder. Miss Piggy, we could run the gamut on her, but I would say the main one was megalomania. And Kermit, I would consider to be the almost nearly normal of the characters, although he did suffer from mild bouts of depression. With that, thanks again, Fred. Thanks again, Harry. I think that's all I need to say. Back to Net from WADLM.
WADLM, WAWKY, or WA8KOC. First off, fabulous way to proposition the trivia questions this evening, Eric. Great idea. Fabulous. I don't think we'd mind if we had a couple more like this in the near future, but we sincerely appreciate you being here each week and delivering some great trivia questions to us. Keeps us on the ball, and we really appreciate you, buddy. And I want to make sure that I call out again Harry, KE8ZZR. Thank you, Harry, for helping me in here this evening. It was not planned that I would be late like that, but you sure saved the day, and I sincerely appreciate it. I'm sure everybody else does as well. So with that, we've got a winner, WO3X. He did answer the trivia question this evening correctly. I think he's the only one. And a couple others were very close, but hey, we learned something, right, guys, gals? So with that, everybody, have a good evening. I'm going to go ahead and return this repeater back to normal amateur use at the hour of 9:14 p.m. And thanking everybody once again for joining in with us this evening. Everybody stay safe and stay warm. Be careful if you have to go outside. It's going to be treacherously cold. With that, this is WA8KOC as WAWKY returning back to normal amateur use, our repeater. Everybody, take good care of yourselves. 7-3. WA8KOC clearing QRT.
Recheck, WADLM.
Go, Eric.
My wife, Barb, just came to the bottom of the steps, and she said that for next week's trivia question, we should have everybody choose what they think my major personality disorder or psychological condition is.
You tell Barb she's a bad girl. But that might be fun, right?
Right. I'm sure we'd get some very interesting answers. W8ELM clear back to net.
And this is WA8KOC. Eric, thanks again. Everybody, thank you. Stay safe, stay warm. WA8KOC will now be clearing QRT.
Because he has early calling hours, KSFQV. But not as early as Jim, VMW, KSFQV.